problem solved. I wanted to show you what the fix was. There's a, can you see that? I think you can. There's a resistor pack right there next to this connector, okay, that has resistors in it that pull the input, all the input pins to ground. Okay, it's like a 10K resistor pack or 4.7K, I can't remember which one, but the one down here on the end, the very last one, wasn't connected. These four here are fine. They provide the 10K ohm. So what I did, I just simply ran a little 1/8 watt resistor in parallel with it, okay, to pull that pin down when it wasn't active, and that took care of the problem. Basically what was happening is that the voltage was floating up high enough to cause this pin to think that it was supposed to be a 1. You know, it was sending a signal of 1 to the CPU at the CPU pin. So after I put that pull down resistor on there to replace the one that was working inside that resistor pack, it went to working fine. Okay, so rather than take the board totally apart so I could get to this thing, I just simply added a resistor on the bottom here in parallel so I could go ahead and get it back to you real quick. But that took care of it. Now there's one other thing, and I'm going to need to show you. I was going to use my other camera, but I'll just bring this one down here and show you. On the CB channel selector, I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but the CB channels, they jump around. When they had the old 23 channel radios, 2 channels in between channel 22 and 23 were used for remote access, remote, like radio controlled cars, things of that nature. Okay, they were right smack dab in the middle of the 11-meter band. Matter of fact, I still got a couple of the crystals around here for channels. What was it? It was 235 and 245 was the frequency. 235, 245, because channel 23 is 27 to 55. So what's happening on these channels, let's see if I can get back down here and show it to you. Where is it? There it is. 3A and 4. They repeat themselves. Now, I've been working on a patch to fix that, but it gets confused because it uses the value, the weight of what the channel selector was telling it to compare to before you click the channel selector. In other words, what is in the channel selector now is stored in a spot in memory. When you click this up, it compares the new value with the old value, okay, to be able to tell if you're going up or down. Well, because of the way the channel selector was wired, programmed, it's a mechanical program, okay, it thinks that these 2 channels are repeating itself. So that's why you see 3A and then 4, and then you see 3A again and then 4 again, because the CPU doesn't know what to do with the values it's seeing. Now, like I said, I've written a couple of patches to try to resolve that, but they haven't worked. I'm still working on that. If I figure it out, then I'll be sure and let you know, and you can send it back in and we'll correct it. Okay, it's just a programming thing. Or I might be able to just send you well, it doesn't have an external connector. You'd have to open it up to plug into the board, so it's probably best if you send it back and let me do it. But it's consistent, okay? It repeats those two channels, 3A and 4, and 3A and 4. Now, this is going to change every time. There'll always be two duplicates. It may not be in the 3A and 4 position. It depends. The way this thing works is it counts up and counts down. Okay? So, wherever you are, when you initially power the unit up, wherever position this channel selector is in, it's going to be the starting position. But when you turn the channel selector around to the 22 and 23 and 24 position, 24 and 25, which are now 23 is 255. Okay, 22 is 225. So 235 and 245 are now channel 25 and 26. Or 24 and 25, sorry. 24 and 25. They picked up the two channels that got skipped over and put them in the 24 and 25 position. So that screwed our sequential counting up. And like I said, I put a patch in there to try to fix that, but so far my patches haven't worked. So I'm still working on that. It takes time, and haven't had a lot of time. So I wanted to point that out to you, and it doesn't matter. Let's see. Now, if I put this on, let's say I put it on channel 236, we turn off the radio, turn the radio back on, okay? It's going to come up in, well, in this case, in channel 17. Let's see if we can find those. They're going to be in a totally different position this time. There they are, 2 and 3. Okay, see that? 3, 2, 3, 2. All right. Now, turn the radio off again. Back on. Now let's see where they are. Oh, it's still in the same place. I didn't move the channel selector. Let's go to channel 40. And if you turn in the channel selector fast, you don't notice it anyway. But I just wanted to point that out. That's not a problem. That's the way it's supposed to be. And that's because of the way the mechanical channel selector is. It's not sequential. It jumps around the old channel 23. Okay, now, let's see if we can find it now. I think I ran past it, didn't I? Yep. Now it's on 32 and 33. 32 and 33. See there? Yes. Like I said, I'm still working on that. And if I come up with a fix for it, if I find a patch, if I write a patch that works, then I'll let you know. That's just one of the minor problems of using the regular channel selector. I love to use a channel selector because it's a firm feeling, you know, and it's mechanical. The programming is mechanical. There's actually programming pins coming out of the channel selector that are mechanical. You're either putting a 1 or a 0 on each one of those pins. And I have them directly connected to the input of the CPU. Okay, now there, of course, there's pull down resistors on there, or pull up, whichever one it needs. And it reads the input from the channel selector. And I've tried to code the channels the channel selector 1 through 40 so that it wouldn't get confused around there. I've written code to where that the code the results would be sequential depending on what the programming pins were. It's kind of hard to explain. But instead of the codes jumping around like the actual programming does from the channel selector, it should read the input from the channel selector and resolve that to a code in a table. And that code is what it's supposed to use to either go up or go down, depending on what the last code it saved was. But it's not working. It's not happening. I don't know. I don't understand why it's not. But like I said, I'm still working on it. So if I come up with a fix, that's what it will be. And I'll sure let you know about it. But other than that, I mean, it works great. The radio goes all the way up to there. So you lose a little bit on the top, a little bit of the voice band on the top. But, you know, it goes all the way down there. So you get those channels too. And there's a lot of AM activity on 915 and 815. But like I said, I wanted to point that out to you, and it's working fine now. So sorry about that. I just missed it during the burn-in. It's one of those things that, you know, it's unless you sit here and play with it for the whole time it's burning in, you might miss things like that on the programming. But the radio works great, so I'm going to put it back together, stuff all this stuff back in here, and put the lid and things back on it and get it shipped out to you. Bill, thank you for being so patient, buddy. 7-3. Stay safe.